A big part of my yearly theme, the year of digital detox, is me trying to bridge the gap between being a technologist and wanting to spend more time on analog tools. As a result, I have been testing a number of different devices and methods for using technology less. And e ink tablets and e ink devices have come to the forefront of a way for me to merge these two worlds. And one of the things I did in the last month was pick up the Remarkable Paper Pro Move. So today I'm going to show you exactly what I think of the Remarkable Paper Pro Move 1 month in. Hey everybody, my name's Joe Casabona and I am a big tools, gear, process guy. I think having good processes and systems in place is crucial for any solopreneur so that they can confidently step away from their business and trust that it's not going to crumble. And I feel like I have been attached to my devices too much over the last couple of years, which is why I am doing the year of digital detox. The Remarkable Paper Pro Move has been a perfect blend of digital and analog for me. And I have tried other e-ink devices. I got the Kindle Scribe when it first came out, and it was just too big for me. It wasn't comfortable to hold while reading. It wasn't really comfortable to hold while writing, and there was a lot to be desired. I was using my iPad to take notes, and I was using the rock paper pencil as a way to make the iPad screen feel like I was writing on paper. I had my laptop for writing and my phone as a smaller device, and paper notebooks, which I still love paper notebooks. They are scattered all over my desk. I have a field notes notebook on me at all times. But back in November, I saw an ad for the Remarkable Paper Pro Move, and I thought, well, this is something I need to try out. It's really small. I have pretty small hands, but it fits in my hand, and I've been dying to try a Remarkable since I first saw it back in 2022 in real life. So let's get into what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and plans for the future. The first thing is the size. It is super portable. It, like I said, fits in the palm of my hand. And so I can hold it in one hand like this and write with it. It feels great. I can write with it standing up, which is like a weird thing to say, but I can't do that with any other digital device I have tried. So if we kind of take a look at how it looks kind of laid out, I will put, how about an iPhone for scale here so you could see the size compared to the iPhone. A little bit bigger, not too much wider. It's about 7.7 inches tall and about 4.5 inches wide. And like I said, that's the perfect size for me. I love it. I'm using the Remarkable case folio that you can get with it. I tried like one of the cheap ones on Amazon, but it like stained really easily and then I couldn't clean it. And then if I take it out of the case, you can kind of see what it looks like that way as well. So this is something I really enjoy using. Like I said, because of the size, it is always on me. I stick it in my sling bag, or if I'm not bringing my sling bag with me, I will usually, I'm in the Northeast, right? So I'll shove it in my coat pocket. I suspect in the summer when I'm traveling lighter, it'll always be in my sling bag, or I'll just kind of grab it and throw it in the car with me. And maybe I will find in the summer that my preference is to use pocket notebooks, but for meetings, especially like if I have to go to school or a coffee shop or something for a meeting, I have been taking this with me instead of an actual notebook, which is super convenient because now I know where all of my notes are. And that's the other reason I really like this. It's easy for me to know where all of my notes are. You can see I have a bunch of different notebooks here. You can see I have notes for like paper and smoke, my to-do list, the product stuff I'm working on. This is color as well. And so I can use the highlighter to highlight things in my notes, which I really enjoy. And it's easy to move pages around too. So, like, I'll do a quick sheet and then I can move it into whatever notebook I want. And that's also super important because, as you know, or as you might know, I put a premium on quick capture. And the fact that I can easily create a quick sheet to capture and then organize it later is super helpful. You can't really do that with a single notebook, right? Like, I mean, I have stuff in my field notes notebooks, and whatever page they're on, like when I transfer them, I can organize them, and that's fine. And again, I love field notes notebooks. But the third reason that I really like the Remarkable Paper Pro move is when I write in this, it syncs to the cloud. And I lost 3 field notes notebooks last year. 2 were like at large. 1 went through the wash. And so those notes are gone forever, right? And I forget, I probably didn't have anything too personal in them, but who knows? Maybe I lost it at an airport, at a conference, or something like that. This is unlikely to go through the wash. And even if it did, all of the notes are synced to the Remarkable cloud service, and I can sync them to Google Drive if I want to. So the way the device feels, the size of it, that the fact that it feels the most, I'm not going to say it feels like real paper. That would be wrong. But it feels like paper more than anything else I've tried. I really love this device. It is, every year I go through my favorites of the year. And unless something pretty dramatic changes, the Remarkable Paper Pro Move is going to be my favorite device of the year. That said, it's not perfect. I wrote an article over on Paper and Smoke about this. I'll link to it in the description. But I didn't give it a perfect score. I gave it a 7 out of 10. So why didn't I give it a perfect score? Well, there are a couple of things that I recognize are not necessarily its fault, or are like diametrically opposed to some of the things I really like about it, right? So the first is the refresh rate. Sometimes it takes like a noticeable amount of time to refresh. When I write, you can see that this refreshes pretty well. But if I switch to, let's say, red, I write with red, you can see the refresh rate in action. It kind of writes it in black first and then changes it to red and then refreshes completely when it detects I'm done writing. Some colors take a little bit longer too. So what is this, green or cyan? So you can kind of see the refresh rate there. Now, the reason for this is it's a color e-ink screen, and color e-ink screens, because there's a lot more going on in the background, there's like an extra layer of pixels or tech in there, it's always going to refresh slower than, say, black and white e-ink, right? And I think they have implemented the refresh the right way, where I am getting immediate feedback. I am seeing what I'm writing as I'm writing it, and then it refreshes the color. Because otherwise, like, any delay in writing makes this a bad user experience, and it's definitely not that. Maybe if they had a black and white version of the move, I would have gotten that, but I'm really not sure. I have the Kindle Color Soft, and I go back and forth on whether I like the color better than the black and white. Black and white is, like the Kindle Paperwhite, refreshes faster, the text is crisper. But I do love the ability to have multiple color highlights, and when there are color pictures or the cover of the book is in color, I like that. It adds like just the tiniest bit of pop. And like I said, on the Remarkable Paper Pro Move, I do love that I can highlight various parts of my text, my writing, my notes, so that I can quickly scan and find those. So not sure if I would even get the black and white version if they made one. Now, the other drawback of the move is unreconcilable with the size, right? And that is that when I try to mark up PDFs or like read documents on it, it's not the best experience. You can pinch and zoom, but I'd rather be able to see the entire document. And I picked the Paper Pro Move for its size, and so there's nothing I can do about that, right? You can pinch and zoom, and that's fine. I found like turning it horizontally probably works the best because then I can see kind of the full width of the document, but I do have to do a lot of scrolling that way. So if I really want to mark up documents on a device like the Remarkable, I'm going to have to get the bigger one, which more on that later. But the other thing that we'll say prevents it from getting a perfect score is that the software is not the best. First of all, there's a Remarkable app for all of my devices, iOS, iPadOS, and macOS. But the macOS software isn't the best. This is not a huge deal because that's not the main mode for the way I'm using the Remarkable, but it took like a weirdly long time to get this software set up. It is cool that you can type in the notes. So like I can view and modify through any of these apps. That's cool. If I do leave my Remarkable at home, I could open the app and add notes. I'm not going to do that because like bare notes is a lot faster, but it's cool that I could do that, or like add context later if I really want to. Something I'm not holding against Remarkable is Remarkable Connect. It's a subscription service, which like, right, I hate that I would need a subscription service for a device I'm trying to treat as analog, but it's not required. And you do get a bunch of stuff, right? So you get like unlimited storage and more templates, handwriting search, which is cool. More integration features like better search and Slack integration and stuff like that. And you get a protection plan for non-accidental damage. So it is a good plan, and it's like $30 a year, tax included. So it's not a huge amount of money, and especially like just for the protection plan, I would say it's worth it, especially because I'm coming to rely on this thing a lot. Like I said, I bring it everywhere with me. I'm trying to bring my phone with me less. And so in those cases, like my options for capturing notes or ideas are going to be talking into my watch if I'm wearing my watch, having a notebook, or using the Remarkable. And this has been my favorite way to take notes. It's easy for me to organize them. They sync to the cloud, etc. So after about a month, I'm excited. I've been thinking about how I can use it more. There are options for automating because it does sync with Google Drive. You can also convert your handwritten text to typed text. And so you can probably do some nifty things there that I'm going to kind of think through. And the size is perfect. Now, that said, I am thinking about the Remarkable 2, or just a bigger Remarkable, for two reasons. I love the idea of being able to mark up those documents on a device that does not get push notifications. So that's one thing. The other is that I want an e-ink writing device, again, so I can do long form writing with a keyboard and not have to worry about getting push notifications. And the Remarkable 2 and the bigger version of the Remarkable Pro have a Typefolio keyboard. So I haven't made a decision on that, to be determined, but that's it for this video. I love the Remarkable Paper Pro Move. If you have any questions about it, leave them in the comments. Do you have one? Let me know what you think. If you liked this video, be sure to like and subscribe. And until next time, I hope you find some space in your week.